Chicago's legendary WVON, the talk of Chicago, 1690 AM.
It is 10:06 on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Don't forget to go to WVON.com and, of course, go to our poll question. Are African Americans held to a higher standard than other races? And simple answers, yes or no. And then, of course, you have to stay social with us. And I met a gentleman last night, 80 years old. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, honey. But such a sweet guy. And he was so complimentary about the station. And he's on, listens from the time he wakes up to the time he gets to bed. And I don't think he ever turns off the radio. And that's who our listeners are. But you guys are just going to have to move into the 21st century and get social. So go to our Facebook pages, go to WVON.com. You go on Twitter at VON1690 and Instagram at WVON1690, all right? So, as I said, it's 10:07, and there's something good happening across the country. And part of it has to do with National Service Week. So, excuse me, you're going to see organizations like I've already seen, like City Year and some other organizations that in the community that you don't usually see, but they're active year long and for years at a time. And these are people who actually take time out of their day, or either they will leave their careers and do a certain amount of time of volunteer work in different communities. It can be anything, and I'm going to let our guests talk about that. In the studio is Tokelia Williams. She is currently an AmeriCorps Vista leader and a proud mother of 4. I don't believe that.
Yes.
Aren't you 26? How can you have 4 children?
I wish I was 26.
And we have old Bamani Obadele. No, who looks great today. He looks so handsome. Hi, Bamani.
Hi, Perri. How are you?
And thank you for bringing this to my attention.
Yes.
Because it is a wonderful thing that you guys are doing. And tell us, Tokelia, Tokelia, tell us why this is so important to you and how you got involved in this. You have to talk right in the mic.
Being a Vista is important to me in the way that it's giving back to the community. There are a lot of people who are less unfortunate than myself who are actually living in poverty. But we actually go into the community and help them to be aware of different organizations, different funding to help get them or help them to sustain everyday living.
Okay.
And that was real heartfelt for me.
Were you ever in that predicament?
Yes, I was.
You were?
Yes, I was.
And how long?
I was in that predicament for actually, and my parents still are, in 43 years.
Really?
Yes.
So what was the defining moment for you? Did somebody from Vista or somebody from another organization come to your aid?
Someone from Chicago Area Project actually come to my aid.
Okay.
And she became my mentor and explained to me what Vista done, and I was like, I'm very much interested in it as long as it was given back and I could help reach, teach one, reach one.
Right.
As long as I was able to do that, I was more than willing.
You know, you're going to heaven. I'm not necessarily. Bamani might go to heaven, but I it's questionable for me. But, I'm always so intrigued with people who are able to give back. I mean, I've known Bamani for a very long time, and I know, Bamani, you have been very community-oriented from the time I've known you. And you've had some, issues and some trials and tribulations, but it didn't deter you. You decide you are still entrenched in this community.
Yeah, and in so much so, just to follow up on what Tokelia said, first, I want to thank the Chicago Area Project and Cra-Wa-La. Cra-Wa-La is the organization from which we are assigned to. They're the host agency from the AmeriCorps Vista, and we are placed with a host agency here, which is Chicago Area Project. And right to your point, Perri, of course, I've been in the community for over 20 years, but there was a period in my life where I made some very bad decisions. And I had to pay for the decisions that I made. And when I came back home and wanted to get back into the community to continue to do the work that I did, I reached out to Cra-Wa-La and to the area project, and they created a situation where I would go back and volunteer in the community for 1 year with the goal of helping and creating an organization that dealt with, build a capacity for an organization that dealt with fatherhood and reentry. And so I worked in the Roseland community, and I've worked with about 4 grassroots community organizations out there, and we've come up. We designed and met, and we've had fatherhood symposiums. We've worked with the Chicago Bulls to help fathers take their, bonding activities for fathers to bond with their children.
Really cool. As long as they're not going to the Cubs, that's fine.
Well, thanks to Julian Green and the Chicago Cubs, we had the opportunity to take young people from Roseland who've never been to a Cub game before to Cub games, and we've had so the point is we've built the capacity of an organization, and you'll hear more about it in the coming months. We Count Two. We Count Two is a reentry, fatherhood, juvenile and adult reentry organization, and focusing on fatherhood. So through the efforts of AmeriCorps Vista and along with Cra-Wa-La and Chicago Area Project, this is the kind of services that we've been able to provide in the Roseland community. And I would be remiss if I did not mention the organization that I work with out there is Greater Roseland Community Committee, and where Gwen Baxter is the executive director, who's doing a great job. And
she really is. I mean, you guys are doing some amazing things. I want people to hear your story a little bit, Tokelia, because, it takes a very special person that could be, kind of just knocked down, and still achieve and strive for better. I'm looking at your brief your resume here, and you said you went to DeVry University, and tell me more what you've been doing since then.
Since I went to DeVry, my background is in electronic engineering, totally different from what I'm doing social work. When I became a sponsor for SSDMC, mentoring, and it was Put Illinois to Work is how I actually become affiliated with AmeriCorps Vista.
Right.
Once I got intertwined with the youth who were out in the community, didn't have a place to go, was looking for employment, and actually wanted someone to hear their story. And I was more than an employer or a manager. I was a person of interest to them who had heard their story, the story was heartfelt for me.
And that they could identify.
And they can identify. So they actually latched on to me, and then they referred more friends to me I wound up being a mentor for about 35 youth.
Oh, wow.
And out of the 35 youth, I can happily say that out of the 35 youth that I put to work, out of the 35 youth, 30 of them are still employed today.
That is really wonderful. That is wonderful.
No, and I just want to say, again, Perri, and I think, and I'm not certain, but based upon the difficult time I had becoming a Vista, I think I'm a test case. I think I am the first person with a felony to become a Vista, and I based it upon, and I think they've done that because of the
involvement you have in
the work
community.
that I've done in the community. They allowed me, with my background and the things that I've done, to outweigh, I guess, their restrictions and standards. So
let me just say this. Bamani, I never thought, after, you went away, you went to prison. I didn't think that, you were not going to pick up where you left off. I mean, there are many people, they have this situation and they just die. They just drop out. And you just came back, held your head up high, and said, I'm just going to keep on moving. I mean, you realize I have to make a living and I have to give back. I have to let people know that some of the choices that you make will haunt you. Right. And I just appreciate that. So what can we expect during this week, this wonderful Vista week? What National Service Week? What are we going to see in the communities?
Well, and there'll be a couple other of our colleagues that'll come on that are here that are working in various communities across the city. I think for us in Roseland, we're going to continue the work of building a Southland plan for reentry services and to help fathers have stronger bonds and be involved with their children. And so from that standpoint, Perry, we work with a mission out there in the community. We have a Youth Voices Against Violence program. We work with the Chicago Area Project closely. They have an employment service training program where we are getting men who are unemployed into training programs so that they can be income earners to help support and take care of their families. So my service here is coming to an end very shortly, and but so at the end of the day, I believe that we've accomplished our goal by building the capacity for a local, community-based organization that will focus on real reentry work and fatherhood initiatives to help fathers bond with their children and hopefully end some of the violence and things that we see in the community.
I hope so, too. And I just thank you guys so much for sharing this with us. And we're going to have 2 more people come in and talk about this a little bit.
Yes, we are. But if I can state that what each Vista is broken down into 6 sectors. And I'm a Vista leader. I oversee 8 locations throughout the Chicagoland area.
Okay.
And the title runs from Vista leaders to Vista members.
Okay.
And Obadele, like you said before, he is a Vista member. The others who that will be coming in, Tracy Kamare and Sam Coyne, they are also Vista members who are located at Los and also located, which is the southwest suburbs.
Okay.
That's for Latino Southwest.
Okay.
And Tracy's at Chicago Area Project, along with myself.
All right. Well, we're going to talk to them in just a bit. 773-591-1690. If you have any questions, give us a call. And we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Perry Small is going to take your call at 773-591-1690. Next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
I'm Philip Jackson of the Black Star Project. Students are not learning, men are not working, families are not